Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk about the coming astrological energies of the week. It's going to be a very intense week, very intense. And it'll also be very joyful in parts. And one of the most joyful things that will happen is the planet Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, and blessings, planet of good things, is going direct, which means that whatever plans you've had, whatever big visions you've had, can now move forward and move forward with ease. Also, the planet Mars is going direct. And it's going at the same time that Jupiter is going direct. So you have Mars, which is how things happen, how we get things done, how things move, moving direct at the same time that luck and expansion and blessings move forward. This is a great time. It's also a great time to remember with Mars and Jupiter together, since Jupiter rules expansion, Mars can rule passion. Well, it does, which is often a good thing, but we have to remember that one of the forms of passion might be intense confrontation or anger. Let's keep that down a bit if we can. Actually, we can. Let's keep it down because we're coming out of a very tense time that we felt we had little to no control over, and that's because we were dealing with Mercury retrograde, plus we were dealing with 5 planets in the last few months, 5 planets retrograde. So a lot of what we were doing was we felt stymied. Now Mars is going forward, Jupiter's going forward. Could it get any better than that? Why, yes. Also, on Monday the 18th, Mercury, the planet of communication, is going direct. Thank God. It has been one of the gnarliest Mercury retrogrades I can ever think of and remember. Just think of everything that did not go right. Think of all the times things that usually worked, simple things, became complicated. They didn't work. Think of the miscommunication. It's just been awful. And fortunately, tomorrow evening, everything, thank goodness, will be going direct. So we will have Mars, how we get things done, the actions we take. We'll have Jupiter, which is largesse, expansion, luck, blessings. And we will have Mercury, which is communication, thank goodness, going direct. That's what we want. So it's a good idea to just sort of make sure you've got everything in place because things are going to move quickly. Things are definitely, with Mars being able to move forward, with Jupiter being able to move forward, with Mercury being able to move forward, things will move quickly. So make sure you've got all your ducks in a row and just get out there and go for it. Whatever you don't have in a row with your ducks, fake it till you make it because it's going to be a fantastic time. Now then, on Wednesday, we have something called the full moon. The full moon happens every 28 days. And it's actually a very great thing. It's the fullness of life. It's the fullness of all you've been working with or working towards. So the full moon is in Aries. That means the sun is in Libra. Libra wants cooperation. Libra wants you to move wants us all to move as a group, going towards the same objective. Aries, which is ruled by Mars, which has just gone direct. Aries, the moon in Aries, wants what it wants. Aries is I, Libra is we. So you have the intense energy of the I, the full moon, lots of emotion, lots of passion, perhaps intense confrontation, going up against the sun in Libra, which is about cooperation, which is really about balance. So what you want to do to avoid arguments, because this is a great moon for those arguments. You've got, let's see what we can do, and you've got, let's see what I want to do. And Mars is very often a planet of contention. It's a planet of passion, of action, of movement, and it can be confrontational. So you want to be careful not to get caught up in the confrontational arc. So for this full moon, make sure that you make moon water. Tonight is a good time to set your cup of water in the windowsill, making sure, of course, that it's covered so that critters don't get in. And also, it's a good time if you decide you want to take a really big container of water and set it outside. Definitely make sure it's covered. If you've got the space to do that, that would be a great thing. You can drink the moon water, you can use it in your bath, you can use it in cooking, you can use it in washing. It's a great thing because what you're doing is drawing down the energy of this full moon, and you'll be able to use that energy to move you forward because that's what the full moon does. It just bursts out of its confinement. And this one's in Aries, which is about moving forward. So this is a good thing. Then on Thursday, we have Mars square Pluto. Squares, this is Mars, this is Pluto, this is a square. Squares are frictional. Squares challenge us to go within. When it looks like the problem is outside of us, the solution and the problem, the origin of the problem, really are within us. So it encourages us to look within. And Mars is confrontational. I just said confrontational. And it's going to be together with Jupiter. And Jupiter is expansive. So confrontational, expansive, and Pluto is, in a sense, the great uncle of Mars. So you think you're confrontational? Pluto says to Mars, I'll show you confrontational. When Mars and Pluto come together, calmness, contemplation, meditation, deep breaths. Before you say it, before you do it, take at least 3 deep, rhythmic, gentle breaths. The world may not change, but you will change. You will have found your center. You will balance yourself. It's a week of intensity. Things are going direct that have been going within or retrograde for months. Mars is involved in a lot of it. Mars is at the very beginning of the week. Mars is involved with the full moon. Pluto's involved with the full moon. And Mars and Pluto are involved with each other. So we really need to be mindful of how we're operating. And your passion, Mars and Pluto both have a lot to do with passion. Your passion can be used for good. Definitely take those deep, rhythmic, gentle breaths and think about the best way to use this marvelous energy. You don't want to use it in a destructive way because the cleanup is very messy, and some things you will not be able to put back together. Then on Friday, speaking of intensity, it's a very intense week. The Sun leaves Libra, the sign of cooperation, of partnership, leaves Libra and goes into intense, passionate, transformational Scorpio. Wow, I'm just kind of exhausted thinking about the week before it begins. So that's a little hint. Take lots of rest, drink lots of water, and think of the positive. Whatever happens, if it's not positive, find something positive in it. If it is positive, praise it and be grateful you saw it. Be grateful you're there for it. It's a great week. We're headed for a new time, a new era. It is practically November. What happened to the year? And as we wind down, we're going in fine fashion. And there's no doubt that it's about really expressing yourself, but expressing yourself in marvelous, cooperative ways and using that dynamic Mars energy, the dynamic fire of Mars and Jupiter, and using those with the fire water of Pluto and Scorpio, using those to transform, to become the phoenix in our own lives. So at that, I will say, have a great week. Don't fasten your seatbelts. Be mindful of where you're going. Be well.